moment. Let me see if the audio works well. Hold on. All right. Yes, it works. Well, thank you all for being here. It's me, Ari Dossett, call me Rashid. If you're Italian, call me Emiliano. Thank you very much. I'm your anthropologist and sociologist. Please hit the like button, share this live stream, subscribe to the channel, become a member channel, donate the links below. Thank you very much for your contribution. Book a session with me, a one-on-one consultation. And you can also check my novels on Amazon, Barnes& Noble, wherever you can find them. And above all, I want you to listen well to this live stream, take notes, pray about it afterwards, and where this knowledge applies, apply this knowledge to glorify the Heavenly Father. Okay. I'm a bit later than usual right now, more than an hour later, but nevertheless, I felt the urge to do this live stream also to emphasize something I already explained, but sometimes it's good to repeat things. But anyway, before I continue, how are you all doing today? How are you all doing today? One moment. All right. Okay, I'm going to read some scripture with you. Hold on one moment. One moment. Look, I'm going to share the screen now, and afterwards I'm going to walk to my whiteboard, where I will continue the stream further from that point. One moment. Let me share my screen with you. All right. We're going to read a few scriptures here. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 11. I returned. This is not Heavenly Father speaking over here. This earthly king in his old age speaking, and he's not in a very good state to begin with. Okay, so let's read. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to the men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all. When you read this like this, it may appear like, hold on a minute, so everything's random in life? You're not guaranteed anything? There's no correlation whatsoever between people being swift and winning a race, people being strong and winning a battle, people being smart, being able to earn daily, have a living, people have understanding of the economy, able to obtain riches, people have skill and get no favor. No, there is a correlation between those things. But time and chance happens to them all. Happens to them all. A lot of people interpret time and chance as just coincidence. Things just happen randomly. Now let's read in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 and 8. To everything there's a season, and every time, and a time to every purpose under heaven. Now, I'm not even going. You could say a time to be born, time to die, time to plant, time to pluck out what is planted, time to kill, a time to heal. Okay, let me see if I can go a bit further with this. So when you look at this, here the author says there's a to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. And here he talks about earthly situations that we deal with. Human says that time and chance happens to them all. So obviously the author does not believe in coincidence. So what does it mean, time and chance? It means in life you need the advantage for things to work in your favor. Just because For example, let's say you're an athlete. Let's say you are an athlete and you're about to do a race. Now, you trained very well as an athlete, but it could be when you are running the track that your foot suddenly hits a little rock that's not well on the road. Or it could be um, due to heat dehydration or something, your body malfunctions. Before you know it, if though you were the fastest, you win the race. Or it could be that you're a general with 200,000 soldiers. The enemy only has 30,000 soldiers, but due to weather circumstances of the weather, because the weather was you had a lot of rainfall. Now the 30,000 had an advantage because of that, and you lost the battle. You may never lost the war, but you lost the battle. It could be that you graduated university with honors, you have the skills, all of that, and still some guy who didn't even finish high school earns 5, 6 figures a year. Why? Because he's popular on YouTube and people are entertained. Now, you actually have more quality and weight than the other guy who's just popular on YouTube. But because people want to escape, that guy has advantage. Why? Because people want to escape. That's why now he earns the big cash, not you. All right. So do you understand what I'm saying here? It's not that there are no causal effects happening. For every outworking in the earth, there's a cause. But often we misidentify the causes because we tend to hold on to our tunnel vision when it comes to cause and effect. For example, you being highly educated in relevant fields like you're educated in medicine and maybe also you have a degree in law. Let's say you're highly educated and your skills are needed in the community. Based on that alone, you should get most of the funding and most of the you should be offered higher salaries. But let's say now you're a foreigner or you're from a migrant background, and the people in the country they have this nationalism movement going on, and because of that, they overlook you for political reasons. Now, based on your skill set, it's logical to get the advantage. But the thing is, you didn't factor in the other people around. If the people around don't value you, then they won't care about your skills if they don't value you. Or worse, if people don't value themselves enough, they won't recognize any people like you. See what I'm saying here? So the tendency human beings have to link results only to external circumstances is wrong. And here it says, to everything is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. Okay. Now look, the author of this book, Ecclesiastes, has a pagan worldview. There's not much flexibility shown about the guidance of Heavenly Father over here. So be very watchful with taking doctrine from the book of Ecclesiastes. I'm here to show you that even the book of Ecclesiastes, that's a bit controversial. It does not validate the idea of randomness, just things just happening. Okay? Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 2. It says, as the bird by wandering and the swallow by flying, so the cursed causes shall not come. So there is no structural misfortune happening without a cause. So if misfortune happens to you and you don't, you end up impoverished despite being wise and with understanding, there's a cost to it. The cost may not be you. It's not to do with your wisdom nor your understanding. It has to do with with the environment you're in. All right? All right. For example, you can have an advanced car, whether it's a Tesla, a Cybertruck, whatever, but if the road is filled with mud, it's still not going to be a good situation. Simple as that. So, is this all clear to you all? Let me know in the live chat, please. God is good, y'all. God is good. Okay, so let me close this right now. Okay, let me go to my whiteboard. All right. By the way, the slides should not take that long. Just wait a minute, wait a minute, wait. So, okay. Let's say this is you. I'm using a male example, now it counts for females too, but okay, let's say this is you, okay? And this is your energy field around you. And let's say now that you have all these people around in the environment. And most of them are in a positive vibration. So you have a healthy climate over there. And let's say now you want to become a musician. So you buy the violin. Now, most of the people around here are not musicians, but it's a healthy climate over there. And you also start a YouTube channel. You being in this environment around you. So within 20 kilometers or 13 miles, you have a majority of, let's say, 80% of the people are in a high vibration. And 20% of the people, just some people here and there, are on a low vibration. All right? I have a question for you. How long will it take before you break through, both in your violent skills as well as your YouTube reach? How long will it take, you think? 1 month, a half year, 2 years, 5 years? Tell me, how long would it take in such an environment for you to thrive as a musician and on YouTube? Just give me a guess in the live chat. Thank you very much. What do you think? 1 month, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? How long do you think it would take before you break through as a musician and also on YouTube? And you're in a healthy climate because the majority of people, around 80% or more, are an overwhelming majority, that is, are in a high vibration like you, all within 20 kilometers or 30 miles away from you. Let me see your answers over there. Let me see. All right. Now, this is not a magical formula that can be replicated at every time. Okay? Just know, if you are in an environment, so in a radius, so let's say this is you. No, it's not really a radius, but okay. Let me see how to, not really a radius, okay, let's say this is you over here. And I don't know, you know what? Let me just write it down. This 10 kilometers that way, 10 kilometers each direction. So in total it's 20 kilometers. Yeah, oh yeah, that is a radius. My bad, my bad. Radius, the scope around you. If within that location, majority of people there are in high vibration, or better, if the overwhelming majority, far above 50% are in high vibration, you're in high vibration too, doing what you love to do, it may take maybe a week or two, or even less than a month for you to break through. So if it's Above 80% may take a week, or anyway below 1 month before you break through. If it's above 90% of people are like that, it may take a couple of 2 or 3 days. Well, that's kind of exceptional, but it is possible. Hold on. Let me, you know what, let me just continue. But here's the thing. If it's 50-50, so around half the people like that, it may take about 1 year to 1.5 years. If it's between 51 till 80%, around 1 year. If it's 25 to 50%, it may take you 5 years. If it's below 25%, it may be a decade or never. Okay? We can't see it. You know what? Let me wipe this part out. No, you know what? I'm going to write duplicate it over here. I think this is better for you all, because this portion is quite important. So again, no, I need to use another marker now. One moment. So again, less than 25%, 25 to 50%. Here you have 50%, 51 till 80%, 80%, 90%, in a high vibration. And let me use, where's the blue? The blue here is, let's say, 1 year. That's between less than a month, and nearest between 2 or 3 days. You get over here, it's going to be a bit neutral. Oh, no. It's not the right marker. 1 to 1.5 years. Here's going to be 5 years. It's going to be a decade. Let me see. Yes. That's it right over there. Now, understand this. This is not some magical formula, and it's also not mathematical. Hold on, I need to remove this ad from my app over here. Okay, good. Now, but the thing is, this kind of how it goes. If half of the people in that radius of where you live, you know what, let me check if it's the right term I'm using over here. I'm using it a lot, but let me just double check it very quickly. Yeah, it is radius. Oh, wait, I get it. It's the radius. In this case, is from here to here, and the circumference is the whole width of it. So it's a radius of 10 kilometers of you in every direction. And the hold on, how do you pronounce that in American English? Circumference. It is a circumference. Okay. Now, anyway, if in your circumference, of a radius of 10 kilometers each way. The circumference together is 30 miles, 20 kilometers. If within that close in front of yours, 50% of the people are in high vibration, a year to a year and a half. Over 90%, well, that's quite rare in this world, a few days. Less than 25%, it may take you a decade to break through over there. So, look, you are not the other people around you, okay? But it doesn't mean that you have nothing to do with the people around you. The people around you have an effect on you. Yes, they do. If the people around you are in a horrible condition, you may be in a good condition, but their horrible condition still pollutes the environment, the same environment you're in. I mean, an example: if you're in a room, if you're in a supermarket, and the people smoking in a supermarket, even though you're not a smoker, you end up smoking with them, even though you don't even smoke cigarettes because you're also inhaling, exhaling the smoke. If you have if you have neighbors and you're having a wild party in the backyard, you are not partying, but you still are affected by you can still hear the music affecting you. At least as if you're part of the party while you're not. On the physical, we understand this. Sound barriers, physical impact, it affects you. Why do you think on spiritual levels any different? The people closest to you have an effect on your outworkings in life. For example, I gave an example earlier before. Let's say you have skills because you're highly educated, and the people there need your skills. But what if they have this nationalistic or racist or whatever xenophobic delusion going on? They will overlook you based on emotions, and guess what? You won't get anywhere there because they'll be opposed to you all the time. Or you can be the best guitar player around, but if someone else gets more funding, they're more visible. People notice them more than you. And you can't blame people because they can only choose what they're exposed to. So yes, the people around you, they matter. I'm not talking about the human worth. Because of course they have human worth like everyone else. I'm talking about they matter in how far you'll get with outcomes in life. So either you are in an environment that is favorable because either half to the to either half or the majority of the people are in high vibration, or if you're in a vibration that if you're in a no, no, if you're inclined to mean that's toxic because less than half of the people are in a high vibration, then you either move away or you have to overrule the low climate or the toxic climate that's there. Because if you don't overrule this toxic climate, you'll end up struggling and wasting not decades of your life never achieving anything. Let me read the scripture that Jesus. Let me read the scripture here. Something Jesus said. One moment. One moment, y'all. I go to Matthew chapter 10. One moment, y'all. Okay. Okay, let me hold on. Um okay, Matthew chapter 10 verses 23. All right. I'm going to share the screen very briefly. Hold on. My mouse is acting up a little bit, guys. One moment. All right. Matthew chapter 10, verse 23. But when they shall persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, you shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man has become. Now, this was something specifically said to the disciples back then, doing a mission back then. But look at the core what Jesus said. If it persecutes you in this city, flee ye into another. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not supposed to be fleers as believers. I get it. We're not just on the run, always avoiding bad situations, all of that. Just know we shouldn't have the attitude of we need to prove ourselves. No, we shouldn't be out there proving anything. If you're in an environment, well, you know what? Let me show you further what Christ said over here because this is quite important. Okay, let me share again. Hold on, y'all. Matthew chapter 10 again. Okay. Verse 11. And into whatsoever city or town you shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide till you go thence. And when you come into the house, salute it. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return unto you. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart out of that house or city, shake dust off your feet. Verily I say unto you, shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. When they deliver you up, take no thought how or what you shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what you shall speak. For it is not you that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against the parents, and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. He that endureth till the end shall be saved. When they shall persecute you in this city, flee to another. Okay, I think you're getting it over here. Christ pointed out that, listen, not everyone everywhere on the earth wants better. Not everyone on earth wants solutions. Not everyone even wants to admit that they need solutions, that they need to improve. Some people some people just become bad people. Nobody is born bad, and nobody is special born evil. People turn bad when they refuse to take responsibility and face themselves and others around them. And if people remain bad for long, they become evil, become reprobate. That's how it is. So Christ did never guaranteed us a warm welcome here in the world. Christ never guaranteed us a warm welcome, ever. What Christ did guarantee is victory, and that none shall no means hurt us. So Christ gave us instructions how to deal with societal retaliation. Okay, now I'm not telling you to go out there and attempt to measure with your human means how many people are in a high vibration, low vibration. No, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just telling you the amount of people in high vibration contributes to how smooth and easy your outworks in life will be. Okay, even apart from the spiritual, let's say you have a Chinese bank from mainland China. It's tied with the CCP, Chinese Communist Party. If you are a Chinese citizen from China and you want to start your own music studio somewhere in Brazil or whatever, and you want to market the Chinese diaspora over there, how big do you think is the chance that Chinese bank will finance you? Very high. If you are from Taiwan and you want to do that, the Chinese bank may not want to finance you because of the political situation between Taiwan and mainland China. But if you are from Chinese diaspora and you want to pledge your loyalty to the CCP, now that bank may finance you. So even when it comes to things like this, the favor matters. Okay. The main factor in whether or not you'll succeed in some area in life is the climate around you, the energy climate. So you need to assess to fasting and prayer, what climate is you're in. If the climate is healthy and productive, guess what? It's going to be a kind of easy ride for you. There will still be some issues here and there because you're in the world, but that's what it's going to be. If your environment is toxic, or worse, even wasteful, that is, if less than 25% is an high vibration, then you're just in a wasteful environment. In a wasteful environment, it may take at least a decade of struggling for you to achieve something small or get some small manifestation. If the environment is just toxic, that means between 25 and 50% is there, then you can still achieve things, but it's going to take you at least a half decade. Okay, let me give an example. Let's say you are the first one from your family to do a university degree, the first one in a generation or two. And let's say now that the people in your environment are not really that supportive. As a matter of fact, in the circumference of 20 kilometers around you, there's almost nobody that's in high vibration. So you are in a wasteful environment. Now, if you don't have, if you're not a believer, walk by faith, neither are you a pagan using charms, you might never get finished a bachelor's degree ever. Forget about it. No matter how smart and intelligent you are, your environment is against you. Even if most people aren't even aware you're doing a university degree, the fact that you're on a high vibration and a majority of people around you are on a low vibration, you being high vibration alone is perceived energetic wise and spiritual wise as enmity towards them. So without people being aware of it, they are resisting you. They're emitting this heaviness towards you. You'll feel class after class. You face accidents, all type of stuff. And interesting, people at university could notice that there's a lot of heaviness around you. And guess what? If the people at university are believers or people that want good, they'll reach out to you to help you out. But most of the time in the world, people feel heaviness around you, they just abandon you. They'll ghost you. They'll jump ship. So most likely, university will get tired of you, want to get rid of you, all of that, especially if others affected by the misfortune haunts you also. And even if you manage to get that degree anyway, it may take you a little bit more, you'll be so exhausted obtaining that degree that you have a mental health collapse afterwards, whatever. Why? Because you are in a wasteful environment. Let's say now, halfway through your studies, you notice, hold on a minute, this is a bit bad, and you move away. A climate where, it's 50-50. Now, you notice that everything you're doing is speeding up. Now, you barely have to study for a class, already pass it. And think, huh? Is this magic? What just happened over here? It's the environment, y'all. Let's say that you're in a wasteful environment or just a toxic environment, but you're a believer. Now you need to fast and pray quite often to get other believers or to overcome the pollution emitted over there. If you're pagan, you may have a smooth sailing, but the toxicity or the wasteness will catch up with you very soon. So that's not the smart thing to do. As a matter of fact, wait. All right. Let me see if I can illustrate this over here for you. So first, let me wipe all of this out. Mm-hmm. All right. It's dry, so I can continue. So, okay, this is you. Okay? I know it's a bit small, but trust me. And let's say now, you want, let's say now, you want to be, let me think of a good idea. Let's say you want your own big house. over here. You own big house, good income, all of it. So you want this luxurious house over there. And you now, you're entering into a high vibration, and you begin to radiate this throughout the earth, all over the place. Holographically, through the echoes from the ether, so the ether is above. Again, here's the deck of clouds. Above there, you have the ether. Let me use another one. With the ether over here. So you now are echoing throughout the earth. But here's the thing though. There are a lot of people around. This is within the circumference around you. That's been 20 kilometers or 30 miles. They're in a low vibration. So what happens is now, when all your positive echoes hit, it has an effect on people to push in your favor. So people are going to feel like something is forcing them to behave or push into the direction. People now are going to say, what is this? So let's say now you want this, you want a house like this. You're not specific about the type of house, just want a big house like this. And let's say now that there are within 100 kilometers from you, let's say around you, there are maybe 2,000 of such houses available. You know what I mean? Houses that match the vibration you're giving out. Okay? Now, you keep insisting on this high vibration with this echo hologram of yours that you are in this house. Now, heaven and earth being built in a holographic way with Heavenly Father means that your holographic output will begin to affect physical reality through echoes from the ether. Okay? But here's the thing. The people around you just live in rental apartments, or some had a mortgage. And the people that are living in these expensive houses that you want to reside in, a lot of them are either millionaires or people that did crime, so they're not your type of people. So guess what? All odds are against you. How big is the chance you ever end up in a house like this during your lifetime? Zero. Because the people around you will not support you if you find out about it. And the people reside in these houses, in that environment where you live, you get into a house like this will never happen because people around don't want it to happen. If they would find, they don't know you want a house like that. If they would know, say, why do you want a big house like that? Why? And the people who are in this house would think, why do you want someone like you living around amongst us? The bank would ask, why should we finance you getting a house like this? Or, but anyway, let's say if all the odds against you, but you keep insisting on it. You're not too specific about the type of house you want. You just assume spiritually you live in this great house. You feel it. You do all of it. Your echoes will increase throughout the earth. What happens now is that the people are going to feel some heavy pressure in them when they're in the bedroom sleeping, when they're showering in the shower, when they're in the living room living. So even on their own properties where they're residing, they feel this heavy pressure on them, and they begin to get angry. They don't know the pressure comes from you, but they're going to oppose. So they're going to emit all this toxic heaviness, and some of it will directly affect you. It will bounce off that echo of you giving back towards you. So now you face psychic violence, and this is when people don't know they know where the pressure is coming from. If you knew where the pressure is coming from, they will come after you directly, physically, if they're numbers. But let's say now this happens, you now have to overcome all this resistance against you and keep insisting. And before you know it, somewhere one of these houses will become vacant and you are pulled into that house. Maybe one day you have to go do a cleaning job at the place. You know what I mean? And it ends up being one of these big houses you always dreamed of living in. You arrive there and you clean the house, but you find out it's a vacant property. Then you ask, okay, but it's vacant property. Is it for sale? Yes, for sale, but nobody wants it. Then you find out that there's some squatting law you can use. And now you squat over there for like 6 months and now it's yours legally. Or you have your LLC company, and now the bank, for some reason, is overwhelmed by your echoes. They're not even aware of it and say yes to your proposal. And through your LLC, you're able to purchase that house. So it's your LLC of yours that owns the house, not you. Now it's a loophole. Then now you're in. Anyway, you're in house. Let's say it takes 6 months before this. Let's say it takes 6 months for this to happen. Now, normally, it would have never happened, or at least take you a decade or two. But now, because you overruled the wasteful environment, the energy pressure, because all these strong echoes you released is an energy pressure. But just know that the retaliation people brought against you, this violent retaliation, also energy pressure. Thing is, you insist on the energy pressure and its high vibration, so it began to repress the toxicity of the masses. Their collective wills broke down, and now the will you and now the energy pressure you insist upon began to harden into fact. It could be you ended up getting a lease agreement for one of these big houses, but you're never able to pay the lease. But for practical reasons, we can never evict you. So in fact, you've been living in this nice house you always wanted, but you're not paying rent. You're back on rent, but they still can't evict you for some reason. So even though legally you don't quote unquote own the place, remember natural ownership doesn't exist. Legal ownership is a fiction that the world made. Even though legally you don't actually own the place on your name, in fact, de facto, you're residing in it, just like you insist upon energetic wise. They'll still try to get you out of the house, all that, but they never can because the energy pressure that's insisted upon that hardens into material fact. Okay? But let's say now that you gave up, and now the people that were resisting kept escalating more, and now their toxic pressure haunts you, and you crash mentally, you broke down, and now you end up in a hospital or you end up homeless, all of that. So now their energy pressure that they insisted upon now hard into fact happening to you. Okay, so let's say you have someone over here. They have a family, and let's say when people say, yeah, you have a couple over here, the couples together, and people say they are horrible parents. So people begin to project bad parenting onto them. Now, are they bad parents? No, they love their children. They invest in children. However, let's say now this heavy echoes hitting them. This here is negative energy pressure. If this continues on a physical level, the bodies of these parents are going to be affected by the heavy echoes towards them. They'll malfunction more. Financially, it will get worse. And eventually, the children will malfunction also because the children's brains are also affected by all the heaviness in the environment. So the whole family fall apart. Why? Because of the negative assumption insisted upon against them. So eventually, the family fall apart. Children have to be in foster care, all of that. And it's going to appear like, oh, those are horrible people who couldn't manage your children. Thing is, they're good people, quality people that love their children, but they were oppressed by toxic emissions from the public towards them so much that now, in fact, their parenting is destroyed. So you might as well call them horrible parents, even though they're not literally horrible. So in this case, the negative energy pressure that was insisted upon hardened into fact. Okay. Now, did the parents become horrible parents? No, they're still quality people, but their outwork in the physical has been destroyed. So it is as if they're horrible parents. Okay. But what if now it is countered? What if this is countered by then up in high vibration, doing the well and for all of that? Now there will still be heaviness around them, but they'll be able to further function down here. You know what I mean? So on Earth, what matters is the energy pressure that's insisted upon. If you have a neighborhood where there's a lot of crime, a lot of murder, and a lot of physical violence, it is because there's negative energy pressure that's weighing on in that place. And people are affected by it, and some people even part of the negative pressure because they just fully engage in it. If For example, your cousin walked down the street and he's shot down and killed. For him, it's too late because the energy pressure became fatal to him. You can still rescue other people by controlling the negative energy pressure over there. But for the individual already died, it's over. They're not going to come back. So what I'm saying is energy pressure, if it's negative and it's not countered, it's going to harden into effect in such a way that for some people it's going to be too late to do anything for them. Now, if your marriage fell apart, you lost your business, whatever, you can always marry someone else, move on to another place. But if you became crippled, or you lost body parts, or you simply died, my God, that is going to be a big loss. You have to that will cannot be reversed like that. You know what I mean? So energy pressure matters, and what causes energy pressures? The spiritual imagination of the public. That's what causes the energy pressure. Now, I made another live stream explaining how men and women both can work with energy pressure. Men can generate the energy wave from the energy field. Women can trigger it because women are like energy sponges. Men are like magnetic flames. I explained it in another live stream before, but just know you can assemble an energy wave that causes an energy pressure out there, and then you can insist on it with other people also, or you insist upon. Okay, so what it is, or you can also join an energy pressure that's already ongoing, good or bad. Whatever it is, as a grown individual, you are responsible for the energy pressure you entertain. If you entertain the negative energy pressure, you're going to be responsible for all the outworkings of it. Even though you're not the one that generated this pressure, you get along with it, you facilitate it, you're responsible for what works out, whatever destruction. If you get along with the positive energy pressure and enjoying that, man, bless you are. Just watch out for retaliation from other people, please. All right? Is this all clear to you all? Let me know in the live chat. Mm-hmm. Hi, Sheena. Glad you're here. Now, understand this, y'all. Too many people, they look at the physical circumstances, especially financial situation, or they look at how people feel about it. Now, understand the following. If there's negative energy pressure going your way, the people around you will feel it. If they join that negative pressure, either abandoning you or joining the dislike and hatred towards you, they're now accelerating the negative pressure on you. Okay, so even if you're under attack or you have negative energy pressure on you, there's no excuse for people to abandon you, just let bad things happen towards you. No, they haven't. But in this world, this is what they often do. So you're just going to be ahead of it. Make sure every negative energy pressure against you is countered by high vibrational energy waves that causes positive energy pressure, because it's the energy pressure that's insisted upon to work out in the physical. It's not hard work. It's not your skill set. It's not you being favored. It's not you being right. It's not you being emotional. If your emotions do contribute, it's the energy pressures insisted upon. My question is, what are you insisting upon? What are you contributing to? That's the question we need to ask over here. What are you contributing to? What are you insisting upon? So ask yourself the question about the people around you. What are the people around me insisting upon? What are they actually doing? I'm not just talking about the daily activities, going to work, paying taxes, paying rent, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm talking about energetic wise internally. What are they insisting upon? What are they spiritually assuming? Spiritual assumptions is how reality operates. Okay, let's say now you get a letter, a physical letter in your mailbox. Okay, and you read the letter. It's from the property manager you're behind to rent, and you have to pay within 5 days, or else it's going to be consequences. They go to the courts, want to break abolish your rental contract, whatever. And let's say you don't have the cash to pay the rent now. If you already begin to imagine you being evicted, you being stressed, you're gonna get stressed out, you being homeless, or you keep fighting in your head, how I'm gonna do this, what's going on? You worrying, you're already assuming the worst possible outcome. So, and remember, your physical body, which includes your brain, cannot distinguish in fact or fiction. So, to your physical body alone, you already are homeless and struggling on the streets, even though you're still in your house with enough food in the fridge. So, anytime you eat food not in your house in a state of worry, that food becomes toxic in your body because your body is not in hormonal balance. So now you're actually poisoning yourself every time you even eat because you're actually poisoning your own body by this worrying. So let's say now you weren't able to pay the rent on time, but now according to the law, the property manager is allowed to kick you out. So, and let's say the property manager even forgot about the whole rent thing. But because you already damned yourself by worrying, even though you're not homeless in the street and you're not evicted from your house, it is as if you've been on the street for years eating out of trash cans. If you eat out of trash cans for years, your physical health is horrible. But guess what? Your physical health now is just as horrible as the vagabond who's been eating from trash cans for years, even though you've only been worrying for or just a week. Why? Because that negative tension that you generated, you insisted upon it, it became energy pressure that weighed you down, and now it hardened into fact. So that assumption of you being homeless and struggling on the street, it now worked out into fact. Are you literally homeless now, wandering down the street? No, but the effect of of that imagination what happened because if you were homeless, struggling on the street, you'll be eating out of trash cans, damaging your health further. So now your health is damaged as if you're wandering on down the street, even though it never happened. So the effect of that assumption is now affecting you physically in reality. That's what I mean with the energy pressure insisted upon hardens into facts. But let's say now you are in a high vibration, imagining only better for you. You agree, decree, and declare only good on you. Now, eventually the rent is paid. It may take a while. There were so many threats, but at the last minute, the property manager, which you call landlord, I avoid the term because only Jesus Lord, the property manager wanted to evict you multiple times, but they were never able to get it through. Why? Because that positive energy pressure you insist upon, and others to sit you in it too, it hardened into fact that it blocked every negative vibration around you, and you being fit from that house and being in trouble, there's a negative tension that was blocked from you. So even no matter what people did to make this happen, it backfired. So eventually the property manager just left you alone, didn't even bother with it anymore. Uh, so they realized that anytime they evict you, something bad happened to them. Anything, what the heck goes on with you? Why? Because their negative insistence is now backfiring on them because the energy pressure spots that you insist upon is now hardening into facts. And it counters the lower vibrations that were pushed towards you. Is this example clear to you? Let me know in the live chat, please. Let me know. Let me know in the live chat, please. And one thing to understand, positive energy pressures always overtake negative energy pressures. Just know whatever physical result, whatever physical effect already happened, can all be overruled but not undone. And if people died as a result of the negative energy pressure, they will not be brought back to life magically. It will not happen. But you can make things will work out better for those who are still around. The energy pressure insisted upon, that becomes the factual impact. So let me uh, let me do write them one more time. Energy pressure insists on it and it hardens into facts. Or you can say in the physical domain around you, the physical world around you. All right. For example, You can insist on that you are well favored and well liked. Okay, let's say you insist upon internally you're well favored and well liked. That positive vibration already is boosting your immune systems. Actually, your physical body is healthier. So that helps out. You even look younger. You get rejuvenated. But here's the thing: it could be that actually nobody around likes you. Nobody can stand you. But you insisting upon that you are the most liked and well individual around. Anytime you are meditating in a good way, all this heaviness that people emit towards you, not like you, keeps hitting them back. And it doesn't matter where they are on the earth. If talk bad about you behind your back, wherever they are behind your back is hitting them. And every time they see you, they feel overwhelmed, overpowered by you. Even though you have no gun, you have none of that. So, but still feel overpowered by you. They say, what? Why do I feel overpowered by this guy? They feel overpowered by you as if you're pointing a gun at them. They feel in their body as if you're putting a gun at them and making them and push them around. But the thing is, you don't even have a gun. You don't even look at these people. That's the impact you feel from you. Why? Because the positive energy tension you keep generating, it generates an energy pressure that you insist upon, and that insists and weighs down on their negative pressure against you. Now, the next pressure now begins to fall down on them. It begins to haunt them. But when they see you, it's more then it's triggered in their face. So now they're going to think that you're the one doing something towards them. But as a result, people are not that quick to call you out or confront you. They'll just give you, either they just avoid you or they just say, whatever, do whatever you want, leave us alone. And before you know it, outside is going to say, well, not a minute. This guy or this woman gets a lot done over here. They must be supported over there. So now, the if you were well liked and favored, you would get things done swiftly. But you're not well liked and you're not favored at all. But because you insisted on that assumption, now you have results as if you were well liked and well favored, despite the fact that a lot of people can't stand you. So now the people that come and say they can't stand you, they're the ones facing backlash. So the energy pressure you insist upon worked out into fact. It doesn't mean automatically people have changed and now they all like you and favor you. No, but the effect is still in the effect is there. So the energy pressure is the cause, and the outworking in daily life is the effect. Effect, my bad. You want to change the effect, work on the cause. That's how it goes. Now, are there any questions about this topic? Let me know in the live chat, please. Are there any questions? I'll wait for 20 seconds more. All right. Well, I got no questions. Thank you for being here. So stop fighting the effects because that is a trap. And don't wait till negative energy pressure has its full outworking because most of the time it's deadly when it happens. And stop waiting for other people to do what's right or do what's best because a lot of people won't. You know what I mean? A lot of people are just not compliant with reality. Stop waiting on other people. You can overrule other people. Even if there's billions or trillions of, they're not even trillions of people in existence. Let's say there were trillions of human beings out there in negativity. You can overrule all of them by just persisting on positive energy pressure, and that alone will destroy all those trillions of human beings if there were trillions around in the negativity. Okay? Well, that's it for now.